So I'm really interested in improving the medical education system. So that really spans from the micro up to the macro. At the micro level, there's a lot of innovation happening at institutions across the United States, a lot of brilliant educators who are being very creative, using great science to do implementations at the local level that are really improving the quality of education at the local level. At the same time, policymakers at the national level are really seeking science to inform their policies. A lot of the policies they do right now are really primarily based on expert opinion, not because they don't want science or not because they ignore science, but because there's just not a lot of science available. And the reason that there's this gap between the science that's being generated at the local level and these innovations that are being generated at the local level and the policymakers is it's difficult for the local efforts to be scaled. And it's also not clear if they're generalizable. And so what I mean by that is I might generate a curriculum or an assessment tool, but what infrastructure is there for me to be able to disseminate that across the United States? Right? There's really very little. Or let's say I make something work in my institution which works perfectly within that cultural context. What does that mean when we take it to another institution? Is it going to work in that context? Does it work with the specifics of how their institution works? And so bridging that gap between implementing and innovating at the local level to the national level has been a really, really big challenge in medical education, and that's really is my passion.